Hello, dear English learners. Welcome back to another important and useful chapter. I'm so excited to have you here because today we are going to talk about something very important, something that can change your life. Yes, we're talking about how to become fluent in English. Now, I know many of you are learning English because you want to communicate better, travel, study, or even work in an English-speaking country. But the biggest challenge most learners face is fluency, the ability to speak naturally and confidently without thinking too much. And that's exactly what we're going to focus on today. So, if you have ever felt nervous when speaking English, if you have ever struggled to find the right words, or if you have ever wished to speak like a native speaker, then this chapter is for you. Stay with me until the end because I will give you some simple and powerful tips that will help you become a fluent English speaker. I want this podcast to feel like a conversation between friends. Imagine that we are sitting in a cozy cafe, having a warm cup of coffee or tea, and talking about how to improve your English. No stress, no pressure, just easy, friendly, and fun learning. And here's the best part. Fluency is not about being perfect. Many learners think that they must know every single grammar rule, every difficult word, or every perfect pronunciation to be fluent, but that's not true. In reality, fluency is about confidence and practice. It's about speaking without fear, understanding others, and making real connections through language. Why is fluency important? Think about this. When you are fluent in English, doors open for you. You can make new friends, travel the world with ease, get better job opportunities, and even enjoy movies and books in their original language. English fluency gives you freedom. So, in today's chapter, I will take you on a step-by-step journey. I will share 5 powerful strategies that will help you improve your fluency in a natural and simple way. You don't need a teacher. You don't need to live in an English-speaking country. And you don't need to study 10 hours a day. All you need is the right mindset and the right practice, and I will show you exactly how to do that. Are you ready? Great. Let's get started. Understanding fluency. Now that we are ready to start, let's first understand what fluency really means. Many English learners think that fluency means speaking fast, using big words, or having a perfect accent, but this is not true. Fluency is not about speed, it is not about perfection. It is about being able to speak comfortably, naturally, and without too much hesitation. It means you can express your ideas and have a conversation without stopping too often to think about every word. Let me ask you a question. When you speak in your native language, do you speak fast all the time? Do you always use difficult words? Do you never make mistakes? Of course not. Even native speakers pause, correct themselves, and sometimes forget words, but they keep going. And that's what fluency is all about. So let's clear up some common myths about fluency and focus on what really matters. Fluency versus accuracy. What's the difference? Many learners worry too much about accuracy. Accuracy means using correct grammar, perfect pronunciation, and the right words every time. Of course, accuracy is important, but fluency and accuracy are not the same thing. Let me explain. Imagine 2 learners. Learner A speaks slowly but perfectly. They always think before they speak, making sure their grammar is correct, but they struggle to have a natural conversation because they stop too often. Learner B speaks naturally and confidently. They make small grammar mistakes, but they can have a full conversation without hesitation. Which learner is more fluent? Learner B, of course. We should try to speak correctly, but fluency is more important than perfection. You don't need to be perfect to communicate. You need to be understood and express yourself confidently. So, my advice: don't wait until your English is perfect to start speaking. Speak now. Practice now, and fluency will come. Common myths about fluency. Let's talk about some common myths that stop learners from becoming fluent. One of the biggest myths is, I need to memorize a lot of vocabulary to be fluent. The truth is, you don't need thousands of words. You just need the right words. Native speakers use simple, common words in daily conversations. Instead of learning difficult words, focus on useful phrases and sentences. Another common myth is, I need to have a perfect accent to be fluent. Fluency is not about sounding like a native speaker. Many fluent English speakers have different accents. The most important thing is that people can understand you. So don't worry too much about pronunciation. Just focus on clear speaking. Many learners also believe, I need to live in an English-speaking country to be fluent. This is not true. You can become fluent from anywhere in the world thanks to the internet. You can listen to English, practice speaking, and even make English-speaking friends online. The key is consistent practice. Another myth is, fluency means speaking fast. In reality, fluency means speaking naturally, not fast. Some people speak quickly, while others speak slowly. What matters is speaking clearly and confidently. Lastly, some people think, I am too old to become fluent. The truth is, it's never too late to learn. Many people become fluent in a second language, even in their 40s, 50s, or older. The key to fluency is not age, it's practice and motivation. What does fluency really look like? Now that we know what fluency is not, let's talk about what fluency really looks like. A fluent English speaker understands spoken English easily, can respond naturally in conversations, doesn't stop too often to think about grammar, can explain ideas clearly, and feels confident speaking English. Notice that I didn't say a fluent speaker never makes mistakes. Making mistakes is part of the learning process. The difference is, fluent speakers don't let mistakes stop them from speaking. They keep going. How can you measure your fluency? If you want to know how fluent you are, ask yourself these questions. Can I understand English conversations without translating in my head? Can I respond naturally to questions without thinking too much? Can I explain my ideas and opinions in English? Can I have a conversation for 5 to 10 minutes without stopping too much? Do I feel comfortable speaking English, even if I make mistakes? If you answered yes to some of these, congratulations. You are already on your way to fluency. If you answered not yet, don't worry. Fluency takes time, and in this podcast, I will show you exactly how to improve. Final thoughts. Keep your focus on fluency. Now you understand what fluency really means. It's not about being perfect. It's not about speaking fast. It's about speaking comfortably, naturally, and with confidence. In the next part of this podcast, I will give you 5 powerful steps that will help you become fluent faster. These are simple, practical tips that you can start using today. So, stay with me. We are just getting started. Your journey to fluency begins now. The 5 key steps to English fluency. Now that we understand what fluency really means, It's time to talk about how to become fluent in English. Many learners feel lost because they don't know what to focus on or what steps to take. But don't worry. In this part of the podcast, I will share 5 key steps that will help you become fluent faster and more effectively. These are simple, practical steps that you can start using today. If you follow them consistently, you will see big improvements in your speaking, listening, and overall confidence in English. Are you ready? Let's begin. Step 1. Listen, listen, listen. One of the biggest mistakes English learners make is not listening enough. Many people try to speak first, but without good listening skills, speaking will always be difficult. Think about how babies learn their first language. Do they start speaking immediately? First, they listen to their parents for months. They hear the sounds, words, and sentences over and over before they try to speak. You need to do the same. The more you listen, the easier it becomes to speak. Your brain will get used to English sounds, sentence structures, and natural expressions. What should you listen to? English podcasts just like this one. Audiobooks. Choose simple ones in the beginning. Movies and TV shows, with subtitles first, then without. YouTube videos and real conversations. Listen to native speakers talking. To make listening effective, listen every day, even for just 10 to 15 minutes. Don't translate. Try to understand the meaning from context. Repeat listening. Listen to the same content multiple times. Use the shadowing technique. Repeat what you hear immediately to improve pronunciation and fluency. If you listen to English daily, your brain will start to recognize words and phrases naturally, making speaking much easier. Step 2. Speak every day, even if you are alone. The second key to fluency is speaking every day. Many learners think, I will speak when my English is better, but this is a mistake. You must start speaking from the beginning, even if you don't have a speaking partner. You can still practice alone. Try self-talk. Talk to yourself in English about your day, plans, or thoughts. Describe your surroundings by looking around and naming what you see, such as, I see a red chair, the window is open, the weather is nice today. Reading aloud from books, news, or articles can help with pronunciation. While the shadowing technique, listening to a sentence and immediately repeating it with the same pronunciation and rhythm, can improve fluency. Another useful method is recording yourself speaking on a topic and listening to it to track progress. If you have a speaking partner, even better. You can join English conversation groups, either online or in person, or find a language partner through websites like iTalk or Pimsleur. The more you speak, the more confident you will become. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Just keep speaking. Step 3. Learn useful phrases, not just words. Many learners try to memorize long vocabulary lists, but this is not the best way to achieve fluency. Instead, focus on learning phrases and expressions that native speakers use. For example, instead of memorizing the word agree, learn full phrases like, I totally agree with you, or, that's a good point. Learning phrases like these helps you speak more naturally and fluently because you won't have to stop and think about grammar. To find useful phrases, listen to native speakers and take note of common expressions. Watching English TV shows and writing down phrases, using phrase books or apps like Anki, and practicing these phrases in real conversations can also be beneficial. Focus on learning phrases for daily conversations, such as greetings. Hey, how's it going? Asking for help. Could you help me with this? Giving opinions. In my opinion, I think that, and agreeing or disagreeing. I see what you mean, but fluent speakers don't think word by word. They use phrases naturally. Start collecting useful phrases and practice them regularly. Step 4. Think in English. Stop translating in your head. Many learners slow themselves down by translating from their native language to English before speaking. This makes conversation difficult and unnatural. To be fluent, you need to train your brain to think in English. Start with simple words. When you see a tree, think tree in English instead of translating it from your native language. Describe things in English throughout your day, such as, it's a sunny day, I will make coffee now. Surround yourself with the language by setting your phone and apps to English. Use an English dictionary, like the Oxford Learner's Dictionary, instead of translating words. Writing in English, such as keeping a daily journal or taking notes, will also help reinforce this habit. The more you practice thinking in English, the faster and more naturally you will speak. Step 5. Be consistent and enjoy the process. The final step is the most important. Be consistent and have fun. Many learners start strong but give up too soon. Fluency takes time, so the key is to practice every day, even if it's just 15 to 30 minutes. To stay consistent, make English part of your daily routine by listening, reading, and speaking every day. Use English in real-life situations, such as ordering food, writing emails, or talking to people online. Challenge yourself with goals like, I will have a 10-minute conversation in English this week. Reward yourself for small achievements, like understanding a full podcast or watching a movie without subtitles. Most importantly, enjoy the journey. Don't see English as just a school subject. See it as a tool to connect with people, learn new things, and explore the world. When you enjoy learning, fluency will come faster. Final words. Start today. Now you know the 5 key steps to becoming fluent in English. 1. Listen every day. 2. Speak every day, even alone. 3. Learn useful phrases, not just words. 4. Think in English. 5. Be consistent and have fun. Fluency is possible for everyone, even you, but the secret is taking action. So don't wait. Start today and take one small step toward fluency. Keep practicing, stay confident, and remember, you are on the right path. Common mistakes and how to fix them. Many English learners work hard but still struggle to speak fluently. They practice every day but feel stuck. Why does this happen? One big reason is common mistakes that slow down progress. Many learners make the same errors without realizing them, and these mistakes stop them from improving quickly. But don't worry. In this section, we will talk about the most common mistakes English learners make and how to fix them. If you understand these mistakes and avoid them, your English will improve much faster. Let's begin. Mistake 1. focusing too much on grammar. Many learners believe they must master grammar before they start speaking. They worry about making mistakes, so they spend all their time studying grammar books instead of practicing. However, this approach slows them down. When learners focus too much on grammar, they try to form perfect sentences instead of speaking naturally. Native speakers don't think about grammar rules when they speak. They use sentences naturally. If you constantly worry about grammar, you may feel nervous and avoid speaking altogether. To fix this, focus on communication rather than perfection. It's okay to make small grammar mistakes. Learn grammar through listening and speaking, not just from textbooks. Practicing common sentence patterns will help you speak without overthinking grammar rules. For example, instead of memorizing grammar rules for the past tense, listen to real conversations and repeat sentences like, "Yesterday, I went to the park," or "Last week, she visited her grandmother." Over time, your brain will naturally absorb grammar, just like a child learns their first language. Mistake 2. Translating in your head. Many learners think in their native language first and then translate into English before speaking. This habit slows down conversation and makes it difficult to speak fluently. Since English has different sentence structures, direct translation often results in unnatural sentences. Additionally, translating takes too much time. By the time you finish forming your sentence, the conversation may have already moved on. This hesitation can also lower confidence and make speaking stressful. To overcome this, train your brain to think in English as much as possible. Start with simple thoughts such as, "It's a nice day," or "I need to buy some food." Use an English dictionary instead of relying on translation. When speaking, try to express yourself naturally without over-preparing. At first, this may feel challenging, but with consistent practice, your brain will begin thinking in English automatically, making speaking much easier. Beigedraht. Mistake 3. Learning too many words but not using them. Some learners attempt to memorize hundreds of new words every week. They create long vocabulary lists and study them daily, but when it's time to speak, they struggle to recall the words. The problem is that learning words without using them is ineffective. If you don't hear or say new words regularly, they are difficult to remember. Speaking fluency comes from using common words correctly, not from knowing rare or complex vocabulary. To fix this, learn words in context rather than in isolation. Study words as part of phrases and sentences. Use new vocabulary immediately by writing sentences, saying them aloud, and incorporating them into conversations. Focus on useful words and expressions that people use in daily life. For example, instead of learning difficult words like meticulous, which means very careful, learn common phrases such as "be careful with this" or "take your time." The more you use words in real-life situations, the easier they will become part of your everyday speech. Mistake 4. Being afraid of making mistakes. Many learners avoid speaking because they fear making mistakes. They worry that others will laugh at them or think they are not intelligent. However, this fear holds them back from improving. If you don't speak, you won't improve. Everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers. In fact, mistakes are a natural part of learning, and each mistake you make helps you improve. To overcome this fear, change your mindset and see mistakes as progress, not failure. Speak as much as possible, even if you make errors. Focus on communication rather than perfection. Your goal is to express ideas, not to be 100% correct. Remember, even native speakers sometimes use the wrong words or grammar, but they don't let that stop them from speaking. You should adopt the same attitude and keep practicing. Mistake 5. Not practicing listening enough. Many learners concentrate on reading and writing, but neglect listening practice. However, listening is one of the most important skills for fluency. If you don't listen to spoken English regularly, you will struggle to understand conversations. Additionally, listening helps you learn natural pronunciation, rhythm, and common sentence structures. Without it, speaking becomes more difficult because you won't be familiar with how real English sounds. To fix this, make listening a daily habit, even if it's just for 10 to 15 minutes. Choose interesting content, such as podcasts, audiobooks, and TV shows. Engage in active listening. Repeat what you hear. Write down new words, and try to understand without subtitles. The more you listen, the more natural English will feel to you, and the easier it will be to speak fluently. Mistake 6. Not speaking enough. Some learners spend years studying English but rarely practice speaking. They tell themselves, "I will speak when my English is better." But this is a major mistake. Speaking is a skill, and like any skill, it requires practice. If you don't use English in conversations, you won't improve. Many learners believe they need perfect English to start speaking, but in reality, confidence is more important than perfection. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to start. To fix this, start speaking today, even if it's just a few sentences. Talk to yourself in English when you're alone. Find a speaking partner, such as a friend, tutor, or language exchange partner, and join conversation groups to practice with others. Speaking regularly is the fastest way to become fluent, so don't wait. Just start. Final words. Fix these mistakes and improve faster. Now you know the most common mistakes English learners make. Focusing too much on grammar, translating in your head, learning too many words but not using them, being afraid of making mistakes, not practicing listening enough, not speaking enough. If you fix these mistakes, you will improve much faster, feel more confident, speak more naturally, and enjoy learning English. Remember, fluency is not about being perfect. It's about communication. Keep practicing, and soon you will speak English with ease. Final tips for success. 1. Be consistent. Practice every day. Learning English isn't about studying for 5 hours in one day and then doing nothing for a week. Small daily practice is much more effective than long study sessions once a week. Try to engage with English every day, whether it's speaking, listening, reading, or writing. Even 10 to 15 minutes can make a big difference. Setting a routine will help. For example, you can listen to a podcast every morning or practice speaking at night. The more you use English, the faster you will improve. 2. Surround yourself with English. Make English a natural part of your life. The more you hear, see, and speak English, the faster you will become fluent. Simple changes can make a huge difference. Switch your phone and social media language to English. Watch English movies and YouTube videos, and listen to English music, podcasts, or audiobooks. Try to think in English when you're alone. If you immerse yourself in English daily, you will learn without even realizing it. 3. Find a speaking partner. Speaking is the most important skill for fluency, but many learners struggle to find someone to practice with. Make an effort to find a speaking partner and practice regularly. Join English conversation groups online or in your city. Use language exchange apps to talk to native speakers. And if you don't have a partner, practice speaking to yourself. The more you speak, the more confident you will become. 4. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Mistakes are a natural part of learning. Instead of feeling embarrassed, view them as lessons. If someone corrects you, thank them and try again. Learn to laugh at your mistakes and keep going. Your focus should always be on communication rather than speaking perfectly. Even native speakers make mistakes, so don't let fear hold you back. 5. Enjoy the process. Learning English should be fun. When you enjoy it, you learn faster and stay motivated. Use content that interests you. Watch your favorite movies, listen to exciting podcasts, and read interesting books. Find fun ways to practice, such as playing word games, singing English songs, or writing short stories. Celebrate small successes because every new word or phrase you learn is progress. If you make learning enjoyable, you will never want to stop. Motivation. You can do this. I know that learning English can sometimes feel difficult. You may feel frustrated or think, I will never be fluent. But remember, every fluent speaker was once a beginner. Think about how a child learns their first language. They don't worry about mistakes. They simply listen, copy, and speak. Over time, they become fluent. You can do the same with English. Believe in yourself, trust the process, and keep going, even when progress feels slow. One day, you will look back and realize, I did it. Fluency is not just a dream. It's possible, and you are already on the right path. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast on how to become fluent in English. I hope you found these tips, strategies, and motivation helpful as you continue your learning journey. Remember, fluency doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent practice, patience, and dedication, you will get there. Keep using the strategies we discussed, stay positive, and always stay motivated. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future chapters. If you have any questions or thoughts, feel free to leave a comment or share your experiences. I'd love to hear from you. And most importantly, don't forget to practice every day. You are on the right path, and I believe in you. Keep speaking, keep listening, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. Thank you again for joining me today. Until next time, happy learning and take care.